I knew I was going to get carried away, so I even make a list of what exactly I need to talk about through this video. So as you guys know, I've actually made a video about this. Last 2 years have not been the best for somebody like me. Apart from my personal issues, blogging, my work has been a tremendous emotional roller coaster ride. At the time when all of this started to happen, I actually thought it was a natural progression of things. You know, you start doing something, you're good at it, and then a lot of other people come along and they're better at it, or they're better at certain things that you're not good at. So you stop being that relevant and you stop being the center of it all. And I thought maybe that's what was happening. So I didn't really feel that bad about it, but at the same time, losing business and losing work, losing opportunities is a little bit saddening. I also know that the problems were not just because of other things, but also I was not being consistent in my work. As I said before, there were a couple of emotional turbulent times that happened, and mix of that plus not getting opportunities made last 2 years very, very difficult for me. I think one of the most difficult things about all of it is when somebody from not the brand side but the agency side calls you and asks you what exactly do you charge to do something, and then you tell them what you charge and they straight up tell you that there are people who have thrice or 4 times your following and they are charging less than you. I would graciously say that, you know, if there's anybody else that you want to work with and if they have like 4 times the amount of my following, then obviously it makes sense that you work with them. And due to that, I did lose a lot of business. I didn't really take it at heart. I felt like maybe I was not relevant anymore. I felt like maybe my audience wasn't there anymore, or maybe I've like stopped growing. So it makes sense that brands don't want to work with you. So I thought maybe it was all me. In my mind, I was not working hard, I was not being consistent, and I just like lost all my mojo in my head. But recently, things have transpired recently that has put the angst back in just my life. After getting to know what I know now, I was extremely angry, I was very agitated. It's like as if the whole 2 years that I've been in supreme amounts of tension, finally I get some closure. For the last 2 years I've been asking the same question: why exactly is it that I'm not really growing? And I know there are a lot of things that have to do with my content that are the result of my inconsistency, and I'm not running away from that. I know it is because the amount of effort that I'm putting in is not correct. The amount of consistency I have is not correct. I get it. At the same time, that does not discount the thing that I'm going to talk about right now. I got to know about this Instagram page, and this said Instagram page essentially takes up the data of a lot of other bloggers and they post it on their Instagram page. And they insinuate that these bloggers have actually bought followers. Now, these are not 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 followers. These are in the thousands, like 30,000 followers, 40,000 followers. And it suddenly hit me. I'm so dumb. Past 2 years, I have been emotionally stressed. I have been financially stressed. Not like to that extent, but you know what I mean. And I have been professionally stressed. And to get to know it was all because people have been buying followers makes me feel like I'm so stupid that I didn't really figure it out before. At the same time, it angers me to know that apparently this was a thing and everybody knew about it. It's like, it made me think that it's so unfair. And when I actually got to know about it, it instantly made sense. Apart from obviously my own faults of not being consistent and, you know, not being that active, it made sense why everybody else was exponentially growing, but only in the numbers of followers and not in the interaction with their audience. And it made sense, and I finally have some closure. Like, I feel a little better that I know that I'm not doing it, so it makes a little more sense to me that even if I didn't grow exponentially, I'm still okay. Because if I had fake followers, or if I bought fake followers, I would have been like a lakh or more by now. But I know that I didn't do it, so I still feel okay. So now I feel a little bit better. And if brands are going to call me and if they're going to ask me about, you know, oh, this follower, this person has this much of following, why should we work with you? I'll straight up tell them, well, at least I don't have fake followers, no? I would completely direct the person to go to that page and check it out by their own self. That's what I'm going to do now. But one thing that I did notice in the posts of said Instagram page, that they were putting the onus on the bloggers. A lot of them were saying that the bloggers are the ones that are doing wrong, and the bloggers are the ones that are buying the fake followers, and the bloggers are basically the issue. I don't think the onus is only on bloggers. It is a whole ecosystem. It is a whole structure, and bloggers are a part of that structure. For example, if let's say a brand wants to work with me, brands are going to hire an agency which is going to contact the bloggers, and then the bloggers get the work. So the work is not straight from the brand. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. I feel like only blaming bloggers for the whole ecosystem being very toxic is not really a good practice. I'll be very honest. I can understand it because they are the ones that are buying the followers, so it's understandable that people feel cheated, but at the same time there's a reason why that's happening. That the brands are focusing on working with people with bigger numbers. So when they talk to the agencies that are in the middle, the agencies call out to every single person that has bigger numbers. That is such a stupid way to work. I don't know why it's so difficult for brands to understand that bigger numbers is not equal to sales, is not equal to business. If you are a brand and if you work through an agency, ask the agency to analyze the bloggers not according to their numbers, but according to the interaction. I'll give you an example. Pond's. If Pond's wants to sell this BB cream to people, they can either do two things. They can take this BB cream, pay somebody who has more than 1 million subscribers on YouTube, somebody that does gaming and most probably is the biggest creator on the platform, a BB cream. Will it equal to sales? No. Second example, the same BB cream. Take this BB cream, analyze which other content creators that have talked about BB creams in the past. You see all of the comments in the comment section. If people are actually asking for a better BB cream, and you give this BB cream to those influencers. Influencers that talk about the same thing that you're trying to sell. Influencers that have interaction with their audience. Influencers that people actually trust is equal to business. Not people that have big numbers, but people that have a big audience. An audience that interacts with them is what gives you business. Mic drop. Every blogger has a responsibility towards their content. They have a responsibility towards their own credibility. So I am not gonna sit here and say that no, if they buy it, it's a good thing. It's a very, very bad thing. You shouldn't buy followers. You need to create content. That being said, there's a reason why they do it. Bloggers do not call the shots, guys. The only thing that calls the shots in any field is the one that has the most money. Brands have the most amount of money. If brands want to work with people that have more than 2 lakh followers, then everybody wants to have 2 lakh followers. If brands want to pay you money for having more following and less interaction, then you get more followers. If a brand decides tomorrow that they don't want to work with somebody that has more than 1 million subscribers or 1 million followers based on your interaction, then people will start working on getting interaction. That's how it works. Money talks and money makes people walk. So rather than focusing on, oh, bloggers are buying followers, let's question why exactly they're buying followers. There's a reason to it. It's because nobody wants to be the person that does not get work. Nobody wants to be the person that does not get money at the end of the day. I even got to know that there are a couple of agencies that ask bloggers to buy fake following so that they can push them to bigger brands. Yeah. Basically, they go ahead and they tell the bloggers, listen, you should buy more following because the brand only wants to work with you if you have more than 1 lakh followers and you need to make money. Think of it as an investment. Get till 1 lakh and then we can push you to mostly all the brands. And bloggers go like, yeah, the agency guys know what they're talking about, so let's just go for it. And they also start thinking of it as an investment, not thinking that in the long run, the agencies are going to make the money, brands are going to spend the money, and the bloggers at the end of the day are going to be left with less money, less respect, and less genuine following. And you know what's going to happen after you're left with less genuine following? You're going to lose face. You're going to lose your dignity. And then the same brands that asked you to buy fake following before are going to very clearly shun you and say that, oh, the blogger is at fault, and they're completely going to back off. That's exactly what happens in a corporate structure. It is bound to happen. It will happen. The only way this is going to change is if brands either educate the agencies how to work, or agencies, the actual ones that understand that the biggest thing about influencer marketing is actually the genuine voice of the influencer, the genuine relationship between the influencer and the audience. You need agencies that understand that, because that's the basis of any form of marketing. We don't buy things according to ads anymore, guys, because we are smarter than that. I don't buy Rasna anymore, not because it doesn't remind me of my childhood, but because I know it's not good for me. I'm going to opt for kombucha, but I'm not going to go for Rasna because it just doesn't make any sense. Do you think if you're going to give a really hot looking influencer or a really cute looking influencer or an influencer that can sing well a lot of bottles of Rasna, that I'm suddenly going to want to have Rasna for the rest of my life? No. But at the same time, there's a huge audience that doesn't care about health and they will buy the Rasna. All the young kids are gonna buy Rasna. People who are not like me are going to buy Rasna. So it's not that if your product is nice or not, it's the fact that you need to be smart about marketing. If you wanted your product to be sold by somebody famous, get celebrities. Influencers are not celebrities. People trust us. That's why we do what we do. If you're somebody in an agency, I hope you can educate the brand as well as the blogger that what matters is the interaction and the trust and the simpatico between the influencer and the audience. And if you're a blogger, hold on to your gut, okay? Do what you think is right for you, do what you think is the best for your audience, and do what you think is right. Because at the end of the day, all the brands are gonna go on one side, all the agencies are gonna go on one side, and you're gonna be the only person that's going to be devalued, not trusted anymore, and your whole career is gonna be down the gutter, and then you're gonna be on that Instagram page and nobody would want to work with you. At the end of the day, I am very thankful to whoever started that Instagram page. I will not be surprised if I am on that Instagram page and if somebody buys followers and puts it in my account, and then that Instagram page is like, oh, Komal says all these things, but you know, she herself has bought followers. I will not be surprised if that happens, but you guys know me. I'd rather invest in marketing my brand than waste my money in followers that will eventually be removed from the platform. Like, I'm not that dumb, you know, like, I made this whole video. I feel every single thing that's happening. I feel it from the brand side, the agency side, the influencer side, as well as the audience side. I feel all of it because I am in part every single role. If brands incentivize good audience, if agencies incentivize good audience and interaction, everybody's gonna stop doing what they're doing, guys. That's the power of money. And whoever made that Instagram page, what's up? That's it.